Hey, Building 100, this is Lizzie DeLorme, your community manager. Unfortunately, due to the coronavirus, we are going to have to skip doing your pre-construction meeting in person. So I thought that the best way to communicate all the information with you would be to do a short video. And I'm going to just review the meeting minutes from Building 300 and Building 1000 when they did their pre-construction meeting, and hopefully that will give you all the information you need. If not, and after you have watched this video in full, if your question has not been answered, please submit that to me in an email and I will get you an answer as soon as possible. So the purpose of this meeting is to give you a brief overview of the project and then just to answer a couple questions about the construction. The first phase is to demolition your balconies, and this is scheduled to take place starting on April 20th. The next thing that Riverland Building Group will do is they will get crews out and materials delivered and staged around your building to start the construction. The work schedule is going to be Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and then Saturdays from 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. The last 30 minutes of each day is going to be dedicated to clean up around the site. Patrick will use a magnet to try to collect as many nails as possible from doing the roof and the shingles. So just be careful with your vehicles around the building during the construction, because there's no guarantee that he is going to be able to get every single nail or screw. After that, they're going to change out the fascia on the roof and replace the roof, as well as start to rebuild your balconies, tearing down the siding and replacing any damaged plywood. The process will be very similar to what you've seen happening in Building 300 and 1000 to this point. During this whole construction thing, parking will be very limited during the day due to all the heavy equipment and materials being laid out. As you can see across the way, Building 300, there's no parking there at all during the day. Some parking spots will be able to be opened up at night, most especially any handicap parking spots, but we would ask that you try to find a parking area away from the building. Definitely need all vehicles moved daily by 7 a.m. Otherwise, they could be towed. Egresses, so the entrances to the building on the sides and the front, periodically they may be closed during the day for safety, and you will see Patrick will mark those off with caution tape. So make sure if you see caution tape hanging at an entrance that you do not use that entrance. It is for your own safety, but all egresses should be opened up at the end of each day and overnight. The air barrier, which is that blue material that's hanging on Building 300 right now, it's a self-sealing membrane to keep water and moisture out. That will happen next. And he will also be needing to beef up the framing around the windows in order to put the new windows in. During that process, he will need to possibly come in your unit for just a few minutes to remove the electrical outlet faceplate that's closest to the window, and then his crew will then move the electrical outlet from the exterior, and he will screw the faceplate back in, vacuum up any drywall. A notice will be then sent out about window installation. We will try to give you as much notice as possible before your window day is what we're calling it, but at least 1 week. We will then enter your unit to do the windows, to hang dust curtains. Those are the plastic sheets that will be hanging on the inside of your unit to prevent a whole lot of drywall dust from going in your unit. You will get drywall damage from this construction. It will be repaired and it will be primed, but you can expect to have drywall damage as well as that trim on the top molding of your walls on the exterior walls will have damage either from nail holes or when they're removing your porches and siding. The banging can cause some cracks in your drywall. You do need to go around your unit before April 20th and remove all items that are hanging on any exterior wall. That is to include pictures, any furniture that's butted up against the wall, and curtains or the shutters that people sometimes have inside the unit. All curtains, draperies need to be removed prior to April 20th. Before the window day, you will need to have all furniture removed 4 feet from the exterior walls with windows on them so that his crew can get in and place those windows without damaging any of your furniture. Patrick Fennell, or Brian Fennell is Patrick's brother, and I will be coming around next week on Thursday April 16th, sometime between 9 a.m. and noon, to take pre-construction photos inside your units. The purpose of these photos is to document the before condition of your unit. That way, if any damages occur, we can decipher, is it construction related or not? I know that due to the coronavirus, a lot of people are concerned about that. If you feel that you would prefer us not come in your unit for these photos, you will need to either provide us with your own time-stamped and dated photos. There's very specific photos that we need to take, so I can let you know what photos those are. Or you will need to understand that down the road, if you are disputing damage due to construction or not construction related damage, those damages will not be in your favor because we will not be able to prove, that there was not damages before the construction. So it is very important that we have these photos. Back to window day. Window day is not a flexible day due to time constraints. So we cannot accommodate individual requests for window days. On the day that your windows will be removed and installed, you will need to secure any animals on that day to a room that does not have a window or a door. Window day will not occur if it's raining or bad weather. You may also want to turn off your AC and heat that day just to save energy cost, because the window opening will be left totally open to the elements except for that plastic sheathing the entire day that day. If it's raining and your unit was scheduled for that particular day that it's raining, your unit will then be bumped to the last day so that the schedule continues for the rest of the units that are being done. The blinds will come down when your windows are removed, and blinds will not be put back up for about 2 to 4 weeks after the window installation. So you will need to make provisions to have some sort of temporary coverings to protect you from being seen from the outside, be it hanging up a sheet, temporary blinds that you can buy at Lowe's or Home Depot, or something along those lines so that people cannot see in your unit. And again, you will not have any blinds for 2 to 4 weeks, and you will not be able to hang curtains up either. So Patrick and his crew will enter after that to do drywall repairs around the windows, and then also where you have any damage from the demolition. Everything that he repairs will be primed, but will not be painted back. So for example, if you have your living room painted blue and you have damage in your drywall after the construction, it will be primed, those exterior walls where the repair was made, but he will not be painting it back blue for you. That will be a homeowner responsibility. After everything is done, we'll give you the opportunity to create a punch list to give to Fennel to make sure that everything is done correctly in your unit. So if you see any fine tooth damages, we will make sure that they go back in and repair those. So you will be given the opportunity to go through your unit yourself and point out anything that is wrong. HVAC units outside will be covered during the construction process, especially during demolition and removing of the brick and siding. And that is because Fennel Building Group would be held responsible if there's damage to your HVAC unit. If you have a damage to your HVAC unit, I would ask that you please coordinate that with me first before contracting anybody. And that's because Patrick Fennel does get discounted rates from an HVAC repairman that he uses on a daily basis. We have had one unit out here that did sustain some damage and it was repaired the same day, and the Fennels did pay for that. So please coordinate any damages to HVAC units, personal belongings, including your vehicles, to me so I can coordinate that with Patrick. Patrick's crew has been with him for a good 8 years working in occupied condos. So they're very familiar with what they are doing out here and proper protocol when going into units, as well as how to handle maneuvering around the property. If you are dissatisfied by any means, you can reach out to me and I will coordinate with Patrick any concerns. The architect, Whitney, and the engineer, Al, both from ABS, Applied Building Sciences, will periodically be out on site to do inspections and follow up on Patrick's work. So you should see them around. All work should be done within 4 to 5 months on your building, weather permitting, obviously. Windows at the earliest will be about 6 weeks once the construction starts on your building. So not the demolition, but the actual construction on the building. Machinery and materials, those will have specific layout areas around the building, and we have mapped out those layout areas for the storing of materials. If you'd like to see a copy of that map, you can get with me and I can email it to you. Let's see here. Please make sure that you have given me a valid email address so that any communications about moving vehicles or the window schedule, anything like that, will be sent via email to save costs for the association. So I definitely need a valid email address on file for you. If you have somebody occupying your unit like a tenant, you are responsible for relaying all information to your tenants. We do not correspond with tenants on your behalf. You will need to make arrangements either between yourself and your tenant, or if you have a property management company that handles your rental for you, to make sure that that property management company is corresponding with your tenants about any parking, window days, going into units to take these photos, all of those things. It is the homeowner's responsibility to get in contact with their tenants. Also, if you do not have parking decals, now is the time to get them. I'm here in the clubhouse Monday through Friday, 8:30 till about 3 or 4, depending on the day. And you can come and get a decal from me or the guest parking passes. If you have guests coming in to town to stay in your unit or to visit with you, make sure that they have a guest pass on their dashboard so that if we need a vehicle moved quickly, we can correspond with them fast. Other than that, that is about all the information that we've discussed at these pre-construction meetings. The most important things as a recap is to go ahead and start removing your items off your walls. Everything should be moved off of your balconies, patios, and closets outside now so that we can start the demolition on April 20th. Anything that is left on the balconies or patios is going to be destroyed and thrown away. Unfortunately, when they're doing this, they're knocking them down pretty fast and they don't have time to keep personal belongings and store them for you. So please make arrangements to either come in town and remove those items or have somebody remove them for you. If you have not given me a key to your unit, you do need to do that before next Thursday so that we can do your pre-construction photos. And also if you're not on site full time, so that if Patrick needs to go in your unit to move an electrical outlet, that we can do that without having to try to get in your unit from a balcony door or from the windows. Again, if you have any questions that were not answered for you in this video, please shoot me an email or call me at the clubhouse. The clubhouse phone number is 843-572-5688, and my email address is lizzie.delorme@fsresidential.com. Again, submit all those questions to me in writing or on a phone call so I can get you an answer. Thanks, and I hope you guys have a great week.